Hey guys, I am invoking Casual Friday. I had a couple of minutes of quiet before my family gets home. Hopefully they're not going to interrupt us, so I didn't really worry about hair, makeup, and wardrobe and all of that. But welcome back. This is week number 1 in the month of gentleness, also known as October, and we are talking about gentleness as a character trait this month. And so if you've been watching for very long, you know that week 1 is always about definitions. It's a great place to start. And so I looked up, of course, in the dictionary, and we have this definition of gentle, and they are saying that it is mild, kind, or a tender character. I like that definition. They also say that it's moderate, not violent, severe, or intense. Docile, free from harshness or sternness, and the archaic definition is that it's suited to a person with a high social standing, which was where we get the gentleman, the word gentleman, and also genteel. But for modern purposes, we have a tendency to think of it as kind, as tender, as quiet. So gentleness as a character trait, I'm defining that as a natural expression of love. So I want to take you back to the very first thing that we have up here, because they're using the word character. And I like that because we have this tendency, and I apologize for the light on this girl's head, but we have this tendency to think of gentleness or gentle as an either or situation. Either we're mild, tender, kind, docile, or moderate, or we're violent, severe, intense, harsh, or stern. And I'm going to suggest to you that what I've been suggesting to you all year is that a character trait is only valid in the opposite situation. So if we are in a peaceful situation and we're mild and tender and kind, that's not necessarily a character trait. The character trait comes not from our outside circumstances, but from the inside, how we handle those outside circumstances, which is why I like this definition, because it's talking about our character, which means that it's a choice. It's something that we employ. It's not like a peaceful versus a violent situation. So I drew this girl up here, and I apologize for the light. So let me see if I can cover it up just for a second so you can see the board, and you can zoom in on your smartphone if it's too far away. But we have this girl, and there's all of these outside circumstances. So there's the other. We don't like people who are different than us too much. There's deadlines, illnesses, boundaries. The word no brings up a lot of maybe intense behavior. Less people who we think are less than, a tragedy, people who serve us, maybe the waitresses, the nurses, the flight attendants, the janitors. People in authority, death, people who agitate us. That's a whole lot. I could have put a whole bunch of people right there. But to save room, I just put it with agitators. Those are the people that really get under our skin. A talkative child, a critical comment, the word should. We should do this, you should do that. Heavy traffic, people we serve. So maybe it's people in a charity, or maybe it's our employees, or maybe our family or our neighbors, but the people that we serve. So all of these things, all of these outside circumstances, all of these outside situations, all of these outside people, we have a choice to be gentle, but it's not this either or situation. It's not this situation that is chaotic or peaceful when we're gentle. So I'm going to suggest that it's right here in the middle, like we have talked about all year with all of these character traits. And we're going to talk about this throughout the month, that when we come across some of these things that I outlined for us, when we come across somebody who says no to us, are we gentle with that person? Are we harsh? Do we get offended? Are we defensive? Do we start blaming and getting mad at them? If we get pulled over for a speeding ticket, are we gentle to the officer even though it was our fault? We were, speeding. When our kids are talking and we've had a long day at work and we just want to break, are we gentle with them? So all of these things are ways that agitate our soul in a way that it's only this inside part. So it's this gentle character trait comes from the inside. It comes from what we are feeling inside of our heart. It comes from a place of love, because gentleness as a character trait is from a position of strength. It's strength under power. So when we are in a situation where we could easily be angry or easily blow up or easily come off with a harsh criticism or a negative comment to someone, it's the person who is strong. We have a tendency to think that, mild and tender and kind, we think that those are like weaknesses, right? And I've even had somebody tell me that they have never seen a model of a person who was gentle and got anything done. So in this person's mind, it's only the people who are harsh and intense, the person who's yelling at people, the person who's cracking the whip, the person who has all kinds of negative comments if people are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. In that person's mind, that's how you get things done, not gentle and kind. And I would suggest that this person doesn't understand that when we talk to each other, we don't listen to people who are yelling. We don't listen to people who are harsh or intense or violent. We listen to people who understand us, who seek to know who we are, who seek to understand our side of the story, what our position is. And then when we're gentle with people, we have this strength, and we don't come back with a negative comment. We don't come back with a harsh criticism. We don't come back with something, like the people that troll, on social media. That is not strength under control. That is not gentleness. So gentleness is being in the middle of chaos or the middle of a heated situation and having a calm and dignified strength manner in that chaotic situation. That would be gentleness. So let me grab something off of my desk. If you would like to follow along in the journal, I haven't showed this in a while, but this is where I am getting the information. This is a book that I published. It is available on Amazon. Write Your Life with Grace, Fruit of the Spirit Guided Journal. You can follow along and keep notes in here. There's places for meditation, there's verses, there's quotes, questions, all kinds of really good stuff in here, and you can get that on Amazon. So next week, in week 2, we're going to talk about being gentle as a leader. Week number 3, we're going to talk about gentleness with other people who don't agree with us, have different opinions, different ethnicities, different behaviors, religions, beliefs, all kinds of stuff. And then in week number 4, we're going to talk about God as a gentle God. Where does this gentleness come from? And if it does come from a place of love, where does that love come from? So come back next week in week 2, order the book off of Amazon, and I will see you guys next week. Take care and go Bucks.